So, good afternoon, students. Myself, Professor P.B. Ingre, and today we have to conduct the lecture number 2 of automobile engineering. So, I welcome all my dear students in our second lectures. So, this is the layout of an automobile engineering chassis was already discussed in our previous lectures. Once again, I recap all these things. You see here what is the components. This is the chassis, this is the front wheel, this is rear wheel, this is axle, front axle, this is engine, this is flywheel, this is clutch, this is the transmission gearbox, this is universal joint, propeller shaft, this is once again universal joint, and this is the differentials. So here we know this diagram. So let's discuss the functions of an major components of an automobile. This is already discussed in our previous lectures. Okay, so today we have to discuss the what is classification of the chassis of an automobiles, how it is classified. So you see here guys, according to the fitting of engine, the classification of the chassis are as follows. Means how to fit the engines, okay, in our automobiles. This is our engine will be there, and how to this engine is fit inside the automobiles. According to this, that we have to classify what is full forward, semi forward, and bus chassis. So first of all, you discuss about the what is full forward chassis. So what is this? You see here, full forward chassis is one in which the engine is fitted inside the driver cabin. Means we know the vehicles, okay, inside the vehicles, okay, we know the vehicle, this is our vehicles, yes or no? So inside the driver cabin, we know the driver cabins, okay. So where is location is one in which the engine is fitted inside the driver cabin or seat like in a cars and old Tata trucks. So in this type of arrangement, the driver's seat is far from the front wheels and he is not able to see just in front of the vehicles. That is called as full forward chassis. Another is what is in a semi forward chassis. So what is here, half a portion of the engine is in the driver cabin and remaining half is outside the cabin, like in standard Bedford peak. It provides the better visibility of a road to the driver. This is called as the in semi-forward chassis. Another is bus chassis. What is the whole engine is fitted in the driver cabin. It provides an increase the floor space in the vehicle. The driver's seat is just above the front wheel and he can see the full front road right from the front wheels. So it is called as the in bus chassis. So second here classification, if you observe here, according to the number of the wheels fitted in the vehicles and the number of the driving wheels. So the vehicle chassis are of the following types. One is which type of the wheels, number of the wheels fitted in the vehicles and number of the driving wheels. So if you observe here 4 in by 2 is driver chassis vehicle. So what is here? Consists of 4 wheels out of which 2 wheels are in the driving wheels. Okay, this one is the driving wheels, front is suppose driving wheels, so back side is what is, it is the driven wheels. Okay, now another is what is 4 by 4 driver chassis vehicles. So what is here? Consists of the 4 wheels and all of them are a driving wheels. Okay, this is called as the 4 by 4 chassis vehicles. Another C number is what is 6 by 2 drive chassis vehicles. So what is here? Consists of 6 wheels out of which 2 wheels are the driving wheels. That is called as the 6 by 2 drive chassis vehicles. D number classification guys, 6 by 4 driver chassis vehicle. So what is consist of the 6 wheel out of which 4 wheels are driving wheels. That is called as the 6 by 4. I mean, this number is very important to this 4 and this 2 guys. Okay. Now another theoretical point is what is the function of the chassis frame? The frame which is consist in our automobile, what is the functions? What is the role of this chassis frame? So what is the first role? What is to carry the load of the passenger or goods carried in the body. We know this is the role of the chassis. This is our vehicle chassis. Yes or no? Yes. And suppose there is a vehicles will be there. So this is the role of the chassis. Second is what is to support the load of the body, engine, gearbox, etc. This is the second use of the chassis frame. Third is what is to withstand the forces causes due to the sudden braking or accelerations. Because whatever the sudden damage or acceleration, so to sustain all type of the forces, this was sustained by the chassis frame. Another fourth number, what is to withstand the stress caused due to the bad road conditions. Is whenever the vehicle is move on the bad roads, so whatever the stresses is developed, all the stresses is sustained by this chassis frame guys. Okay, so this is the function of the chassis. Last one is what is to withstand the centrifugal force while the cornering. So we know that when the vehicles is move along the curve road, so whatever the centrifugal force which is developed away from this, we know the centrifugal force mu square upon r. So this all centrifugal force is sustain or this withstand all the force while vehicle moves along the corner road guys. Okay. Another heading is what is type of the chassis frame. What are the types? So according to chassis design, the body can be divided into two main components. So you see here divided into, it is divided into these three types, not two. This is divided in three types. One is conventional type of the chassis. Second is what is integral type chassis, and third is what is semi-integral type chassis. Another is what is a theoretical points according to the other uses. So what is the uses of this chassis? Light vehicle bodies like cars or jeeps. So what type of the design of the chassis required in light vehicles? Another second is what is heavy vehicle bodies. Suppose buses or lorries. So what type of the chassis arrangement or design is required to design the heavy vehicle bodies? And this third one is what is medium vehicle body, which vans or matadors. So what type of the chassis design is required in all three cases? This is the according to their uses. So let's we discuss this first one. Which one is this conventional type of the chassis? So you see here means in this title type of chassis frames. So what is the first one is conventional frame. So look at here discussion. It has two long side membranes, which consist of two long side membranes, okay, and 5 or to 6 cross membrane joined together with the help of rivets and bolts. The frame section are generally, it is called as conventional frames. So if you observe in here design guys, this is the conventional frame designs of a chassis. These are the two long membranes, okay. If you in definition, it has two long side membranes. These are the two sides long membranes, okay, and here 5 to 6 cross joints, okay. These are the 1, 2 like that, and they are connected by the rivet joints, or in this there is a riveting, okay. So there is a, if you observe here, rivets or bolts. So here what is channel sections, tabular section, box section. So goods resistance to bending, the chassis frame not bend, that is channel sections. Tubular section means good resistance to torsions, means there is no any means bending or means momentum of the tabular sections, means there is no any rotations, means torsion means there is no any twist will be there. And box section means good resistance to both bending as well as torsions, means not bend, not rotates, that is called as the box sections, okay. So if you observe in these figures, what is the box section of the car frame? So this is the front cross membrane. If you observe here, this is the body mounting brackets. These are the body mounting brackets. This one is what is longitudinal membrane. This is the cross membrane. This is also the cross membrane supporting from the transmission systems. So these are the detail. These are the another is body mounting bracket also. There is a body will be connected. So this is the design of the what is the chassis. Okay, box section car frame. Now another is guys, what is integral frame will be theirs. What is this integrals? What is the integral? This frame is used nowadays in most of the cars. Okay, that this integral frame is very famous nowadays. So there is no frame and all the assembly units are attached to the body. This is very important. There is no frame and all the units are attached to the body, guys. Okay, so all the function of the frame carried out by the body itself. This is most important. So due to the elimination of the long frame, it is cheaper, and due to the less weight, most of economical also. Because of the less weight, the average of the vehicle will be increases. There is a decrease the weight of the vehicles. Okay, so only disadvantage is what is repairing is very difficult. So this is the most biggest disadvantage of this integral frame. Third is what is semi-integral frame. So what is the designing? In some of the vehicles, half frame is fixed in the front end on which engine, gearbox and front suspension is mounted. So this is the fixed frame. Okay, this is a fixed chassis. It has the advantages when vehicle is met with accident. The front frame can be taken easily to replace the damaged chassis from the frame. This is the biggest advantages in semi-integral. That's we call as the semi-integral. So this type of the frame is used in Fiat cars or some of the European or American cars, guys. So this is the another design we have X membrane type car frame. This is the X design. If you observe here, these are the cross membrane. This is the cross membrane for transmission support here. This is the longitudinal membrane. This is the body mounting brackets. Okay, if you observe the chassis design, look at this chassis will be there. This is the cross membrane will be there. Okay, frame of a Leyland vehicles, Ashok Leyland. This is the another X membrane of a type Jeep or chassis frames. So this is the front cross membrane. This is the X shape design. That's why it is called as X membrane. This is the rear. This is the kick up. Okay. If you observe in these cars, integral or unit frame or body constructions. So these are the interior complete frame of the bodies. So another title is wise guys here, various loads acting on the frame. So what type of the loads is acting? So if you observe here, various loads is acting on the frame. So what are these loads? First is what is short duration loads. Short. So while crossing or broken patch, when you crossing the broken patch, there is a short duration load is acting on the body. Another is what is momentary duration load. While taking a curve, when you turn the curve road, there is a what type of the load will be there? Momentary duration load. While crossing the big patches, they on the road there is a mote khadde. Duration while taking the U-turn, there is this type of the loads. Impact load due to the collision of the vehicles. When the two vehicles is collide to each others, their time is impact loads. Inertial load while applying the brakes. When vehicle is very fast moving and suddenly apply the brake, there is a inertial load. Static loads, load due to the chassis parts. Overloads beyond the design capacity. Suppose the bus capacity is suppose 1000 kg and we have to run is what is 1010 kg, means more than, that is the overload. So these are the various loads acting on the frame, guys. So there is, if you observe, the frames are made following steel sections, channel sections. This one, this is the post sections, and this is the tabular section. So these are the materials or designing. Material is used steel, and these are the designing. So if you consider in channel sections, channel section is used in long membrane. Okay, long membrane, very huge distance, very long membrane like that. Okay, Box section is a very short membrane. So this is the short membrane. There is a very less distance, and tubular section is used nowadays in three-wheelers, scooter, matadors, pickups, or frames. Okay, I mean generally this is the most of the use in nowadays in three-wheelers. Okay, tubular section type of the frames. So here we have to discuss the types of automobile layout. What is in layout? So we have to discuss here. So you see here, the vehicle is based on the type of the drive you use, and they are what is the first layout is what is front engine, rear wheel drive. Front engine. So we know this is our automobiles. Where is the location of the? This is the steerings, and where is the location of this engine? In the front of the vehicles. So if you observe here, this is the radiators to maintain cooling of the engines. There is a clutch, gearbox in the back side of the vehicle. This is the rear wheel. This is the differentials. This is the suspension. Is what is this? Is the lift spring suspensions. There is two universal joints to connect the propeller shafts. Okay, and this is the coil spring. Okay, front vehicles. This is the front vehicles. This is the, we know this is the propeller shaft to transmission of the power from gearbox to the rear wheels. So here in this type of the layout, the engine is mounted in the front and the rear wheels are driven. Okay, this type of arrangement improve the handling comfort. Large space is available for increased load carrying capacity. The front engine wheel drive is used in most of the automobiles. Okay, you know this very well. Another is what is rear engine rear wheel drive. So you see here what is in rear wheel drive. So where is the location? The gearbox is connected on the rear wheels. Okay, that's why we call it the rear wheel drive. There is a clutch is also in the back side of the rear wheels. Okay, there is a universal joint is also there, and this is our front wheels. So in this layout, what is the engine is mounted on the rear portions. It is back of the engines. Okay, the rear wheels are driven. Means the main power supply to the back side, and this back side supply to the power this front wheel guys. Okay, so advantages of the rear wheel drive arrangement in that front of the vehicle can be designed for a good visibility. Okay, this is the advantages you should know. Now third is what is front engine front wheel drive. Yes or no? Yes. What is here in this layout? The engine is mounted transversely in the front side of the vehicles. If you observe here, this is the front side. There is the location of the engine will be on the front side. This is the engine, clutch, gearbox. Okay, there is the propeller shaft, transfer box, propeller shaft, differentials, frame, chassis will be there in these designs. This is okay. Final drive, clutch, gearbox, universal joints. This is the locations. Okay. So what is here? The power flow from the engine to the front wheels means whatever the power is developed by the engine, where is supply to the front wheels and is transmitted through the clutch transmissions, most important clutch transmissions, and the differential to the front wheels. Okay, this power is developed by the engine, transferred to the clutch, from the clutch it transferred to the differential, and from the differential it transferred to the front wheels. If you observe here, okay, differential to the front wheels. The transmission and differentials are combined into assembly called a transaxles. So that's we called as a transaxles. Means the clutch, differential, transfer to the power to the differential. So it is called as the transaxles, guys. Okay. Transaxle. So this transaxle unit is located between the front engines and the front wheels. So this is the third classifications. You should understand now. This is the designing arrangements. Now most important is what is the difference between the front mount engines and rear mount engines. So let's we discuss the point front engine mount, rear engine mount, guys. Okay. So you see our first point, traveling is faster and safe. So if an engine is located in the front, what is traveling is very fast and very safe. In rear engine, traveling is less faster and less safer. Second, what is this engine vehicles have a good road adhesions. Is there is a good adhesive force between the road road and this vehicles guys. Okay, the good road adhesion due to the large vehicles weight carrying on the driving wheels. Here these engine vehicles have a less road adhesions, means not a properly contact of these road tires with these roads. Okay, not a proper adhesions. Provide less passenger comforts. In, if you observe here, less passenger comfort. Here what is provide better passenger comforts. Fourth number, vehicle provide a natural air cooling, right? Here required the powerful fan because the engine located in a back sides. Another is front engine vehicle visibility is poor and rear engine vehicle visibility is good. These are road conditions, okay, for the drivers in from the cabins. This is related to the visibility. So this is the difference between the front engine and rear engine guides. So I stop here. Our next topics is what is resistance to the motion of the vehicles when the vehicle is moved from one place to another place, what type of the resistance. So this will be discussed in our next lectures. Okay, so thank you very much.